All right, race fans, welcome to TurnLeftTV. Be ready for some high-speed action tonight. Step on the gas.
All right, race fans, welcome to Sin City. This is TurnLeftTV, and I'm your host, Heath Johnson. All the High Octane Racing League Buschwackers Series visits Sin City. A little gambling tonight. You're going to make a run for the championship. It is tonight here at Vegas. Who's going to get all the cards, baby? Who's going to roll snake eyes? Well, there's only one way to find out. And you know where you're going to watch it? Right here on TurnLeftTV. Well, you know, there's more than pretty girls and debauchery in Las Vegas. There's the Buschwackers Series tonight. It's a 100-lap race, race number 9. And it's all live right here on TurnLeftTV. All right, thank you so much for coming in here and joining me on TurnLeftTV. Appreciate you being here tonight. And we've got a good one here for you, man. Vegas. Fun track. Fast track, and a lot of guys can win this race tonight. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, broadcaster, commentator here at TurnLeftTV. We appreciate you being here tonight. And a 100-lap race, race number 9 of the season. Just 2 races to go, including tonight. And it could be a big one for the points run. Right now in the practice session, about a little under 6 minutes left to go in practice. Tonight's race brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you are interested in an rFactor 2 server, there are 3 self-managed server packages for you to choose from. You want to host your website or your online store? How about some VPS hosting and shared web hosting? Also available through EliteHostingUSA.com, and that's who provides our servers here at High Octane Racing. And don't forget to join us over at HighOctaneRacing.net. You get a quick link to our Discord server. That's where we do most of our business on our Discord server. And you get updates of schedules, point standings, what have you. Quick links to TurnLeftTV broadcast of each race series. And a lot of fun here happening at HighOctaneRacing.net. Been going on for 23 years. So still going strong. Thanks for joining me here on the YouTube channel. Peace to everybody out there. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, get the algorithm talking. I'd like to see more people seeing these videos, so help me out there. And if you haven't subscribed, smash that subscribe button and massage the bell ever so slightly. You get updates of when races are going live here. And thanks to all those folks who have subscribed, all those folks who come out and watch the videos each and every week, whether you're watching it live or on replay. I really do appreciate it. I remember when I started doing this some years ago, quite a bit ago now, man, I thought, wow, man, I've had 5 people watch my video this week. And I just can't believe that I've come this far. And it really is with your help coming out each and every week, letting people know what's going on here. Please click those links down in the description of the race. I've got a quick link over to the Sim Lab website if you're interested in purchasing something through them. Help me out here at TurnLeftTV. I actually have a Sim Lab rig, and that's what I race with. I also broadcast. I'm sitting in it right now, man. And I love it, man. Rock solid, easy to put together, and it really was an awesome transaction, man. And they do a great job communicating with you as a buyer as well. So help me out there. There's some links in the description of this race. Appreciate you helping me out there. And again, thanks for coming in and watching the videos here on TurnLeftTV. Man, it's Vegas tonight, huh? Let's take a look at the track here at Vegas. Mile and a half, one of those cookie cutter mile and a halves. A lot going to happen in that tri-oval area. Banking in the turns, 12 to 20 degrees progressive banking. I think that high line is really in play here tonight. You got to be really careful though, because you get into that wall and the thing sort of sticks to the wall. So you got to be really, really careful as you go through the turns here at Vegas. I think, tri-ovals go. You got to watch your stuff through that tri-oval area as well. Manage your tires, all that jazz. But Las Vegas, a lot of fun here tonight in the Buschwackers series. Thanks to all those folks coming out and watching. Appreciate it. Got some chatters in here, of course. Guys that are going out there to race tonight. Jesus Barbecue Iglesias. My God, it's good to see that guy back. Hopefully he has a good night here tonight. There's Claudio Bardelli Jr. here each and every week, unless he's out doing some Samba work. And Givaldo Linares, big guy on our list. Hopefully he has a good solid connection tonight as well. Good to see him out as always. Those guys, man, they faithful followers of High Octane Racing League each and every week, our Brazilian contingent. And then Jesus is Spain. He's from Spain, but he lives in Brazil, so we'll call him Brazilian. Or what's a Spaniard living in Brazilian? Like a Spazillion? Good to see those guys out tonight, man. Best of luck to all three of those guys. Tracks VR in here as well. Man, thanks for providing a place for Dana Grover to race tonight. Tracks VR up there in Calgary, Canada. And they have a great facility, man. A lot of sim rigs there. Guys come in and race. And they hold tournaments and so forth. And once in a while, I guess they have bachelorette parties there, too, from what I hear. Word on the street, those girls will come in there sometimes. I don't know how you keep your concentration on the track, man, when you got some beautiful girls there coming in Tracks VR. Maybe I should take a trip up to Calgary. Getting ready to go to the qualification session. Before we head over there, let's take a look at the point standings as they are coming into tonight's race. Claudio Bardelli Jr. Not a huge lead there, but a little bit of lead over Craig Marizon. Franco Alvarez sits third. Dennis Schuderson fourth. Sean Jacobs sits fifth in points. See John Stanley, Gordon Carter, Ritzky Novar, Dana Grover, and Jomar Peixoto rounding out the top 10. Take a look at page number 2. You headed up by Eugene Fedorov. Givaldo Spindola is 12th. Steve Pierce 13th. Todd Robillard 14th. Art Vieta 15th. You see Jelson Neto, Tony Furtado, Preston Hassel, Dan Richter, and Alexei Salviev rounding out the top 20. And then page number 3, Ed Palumbo, Chris Hughes, and Jesus Iglesias there. 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. These guys are headed over to the qualification session as we speak. Looks like Alexei Salviev is our first car out here on the field, on the grid, on the track, wherever the hell he's at. In the brand new paint scheme, that 72 car. Now we get down there on the below the line, which is fair in the qual, but not in the race. Got to stay above that line unless you're avoiding an accident. The first sector 10.035. Second sector just a little bit over 11 seconds. And coming off the final turn through the tri-oval, let's see where lap number 1 is for the 72. 30.422. Just as fast as he climbs up the grid there. Tony Furtado in the 9 car. Slinging that car around there with a 30.416. Wow, Sean Jacobs as well. Take a look at Dennis Schuderchen in the 47 car. Yet now to the top of the grid, 260. 31.464 for Dennis Schuderchen. Right now in 6th place in that 47 car. Let's take a look at John Staple Gun Stanley in the 12 car. John hailing from the east coast of Canada. Nova Scotia, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And that Stanley Tools sponsor machine, 30.361, 6th on the grid for John Stanley. Good run there. Claudio Bardelli Jr., our points leader in the 19 car. Let's see where he lands here, getting ready to start his qual lap. Stanley at the top of the grid. John Stanley, 30.249 to the top of the grid for the 12 car. Dana Grover says, not so fast. I'm Canadian too. Craig Marisot says, I'm from Michigan. I am in P1 right now. Bardelli Jr., 30.598 for Bardelli Jr. Whoa, a little slow for him on that one. Let's see what lap number 2 does. Wow. Little bit off the pace here for Bardelli Jr. Let's see where lap number 2 lands. There's on to the top of the grid, 30.217 for him. Here we go. Fast in Sector 1. Sector 2 a little bit off the pace. 2.29 up to P2 for Bardelli Jr. Valdo finishing up his qual attempt. Jesus Iglesias barbecue out here. Let's see where he ends up. So Jesus Barbecue Iglesias in the Orange Crush sponsored Chevy. Number 22 car. So right now, Marizon 30.217 at the top. Bardelli Jr. second, Grover third, Stanley fourth, and Steve Pierce shown in the 5th position. How about a qual there for Steve Pierce? Top 5 for him. Let's see where Jesus Iglesias lands. Iglesias has been off for a little bit. And 30.380. He's got some work to do here on lap number 2. It looked like lap 2 seemed to be faster for these guys, too. So let's see what Iglesias does. A little bit off the pace there. 400ths off the pace there in sector number 1. Right now, 14th. Let's see where he lands. Coming off turn 3 or turn 4 down the tri-oval, through the tri-oval, 30.328. He moves up the grid to P9 in the top 10 for Jesus Iglesias. Well, it looks like quals have ended here, although 4 minutes left in the qual session. These guys will use that time to go over a few odds and ends in the drivers' meeting. So again, thanks for coming out here tonight. Appreciate you being here. And as always, appreciate people coming out and watching these races. Let's get this party started.
Soul.
All right, I'm back. Thanks for joining us here on TurnLeftTV and the Buschwackers series in action here tonight. In case you're just joining us, race number 9, just 2 races to go, including tonight, to firm up the championship for the first championship of 2024. And it's a 100-lap race here at Vegas. And we are just about officially finished with the qualification session. These guys had their drivers meeting. And now we're just in a little bit of a holding pattern until quals officially run out. And we got some more Las Vegas racing coming up this weekend. Tomorrow night, we'll be at Las Vegas in the Cup Series. The High Octane Racing League Saturday Night Thunder. The Cup Boys in action. Race number 9 of the season at Vegas. This is Beat the Broadcaster night, and lately it has not been a very hard job to beat the broadcaster, I'll be honest with you. I get out of the broadcast booth, get in the driver's seat, and mix it up with the boys. So come on out and join me. 100-lap race at Vegas coming up tomorrow in the Saturday Night Thunder. Tough Trucks will be back in action on Tuesday for race number 3 of the season, and that is Phoenix Raceway. 100-lap race there. It should be fun at that. I call it a 5-turn track, man. That dog leg is massive there at Phoenix, and it is a tough track. So I actually race in this series, and I've been having a lot of fun. Didn't have the best race here this last week at Vegas, but maybe Phoenix will be better for me. So a 100-lap race coming up at Phoenix on Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Looks like these guys are now in the warm-up session. Let's see where we end up here with the quals. I think we we in the warm-up? We in the qual session here. There we go. Greg Berzon in the 60 P1, baby. So got that Magpul Dynamics machine in P1 here for the start of the race. Claudio Bardelli Jr. starts in P2. Row number 2 will be Dana Grover and John Stanley. Steve Pierce, great qualification effort there for the 51 car, that Captain Morgan machine. And Archer Vieira be in row number 3. Row 4 will be Sean Jacobs and Givaldo Spindola. I tell you what, Givaldo has been qualifying better and better and better and better each week, man. Keep your eye on that 68 car here tonight. Jesus Iglesias and Dennis Uderchin make up row number 5. Row number 6 will be Tony Furtado and Dan Richter. Gilmar Peixoto in the 71, Alexei Salviev make up row number 7. And row number 8 will be Gordon Carter and Ritsky Novar. These guys out getting some practice laps in. Right now, about 8 minutes left in the warm-up session. Fireball Flash says, good luck, everybody. I'm betting on the 89. The 8 and the 9 on the roulette wheel tonight. Just got back from Vegas this week. Coincidence? All right, man. I'm not much of a gambler, man. I do slots. I probably played blackjack one time, and it looked like I pissed off somebody at the table, so I decided to leave because I didn't want to get shot. Thanks for joining us here on TurnLeftTV. About 7.5 minutes left before we get the command to start the engines. And again, thanks for joining us here. Let's take a look at the keys to the race here tonight at Vegas. Las Vegas keys. Oh, my boy. It was so close. so close. It's supposed to be limit aggression, but there you go, man. See, I'm an amateur. I am an absolute freaking amateur. Tire management there, limit aggression. Or you'll get crunched up like that word. Definitely, in the tire situation, the aggressiveness leads to tire problems. Getting up in the wall as well, when you get aggressive, you get up in the wall, and that is bad news. Handle the traffic here. You're going to be in traffic tonight here with 16 drivers, and you're just going to have to be patient, man. Really be patient in that traffic. So manage the traffic, man. That hold that line, and maybe really pick the times when you're going to make a move here down on the low line or go up on the high line. Make good pit stops here on and off pit lane. When you come off pit lane, you're really going to be wide here, up near the white line, just to the left of the white line, because there are a couple bumps in the track on the apron, and that could really cause some problems. And you got to know when to go, man. I'd say that last maybe 30 laps or so, 25, 30 laps, that is go time, and really want to do your best to get your car up front so you give yourself a chance to win. So those are my keys to the race here. I have no idea what I'm doing. Just clicking on stuff, bro. Thanks everybody for coming out and watch. Dennis Takastani is cheering on Peixoto and Bardelli. Those are some good choices there tonight as well. So they got a fan club out here to welcome Dennis. Appreciate you being here. My pick. Bardelli Jr. is he's bullying right now. He is bullying me. Bullying me to get my pick in. Boy. That's a good question. Who am I going to pick tonight? My pick tonight is Craig Barazon. That's my pick tonight. Got a fast car. And that Magpul Dynamics machine might have what it takes to get that car in victory lane. Take a look at that beautiful paint scheme. The reason we're doing that is because I painted that car. There we go. Magpul Dynamics number 60. Keep your eye on him tonight. That's the broadcaster's pick to win the race. We're getting ready to get the command to start the engines very, very shortly. And again, thank you so much for joining me here on the YouTube channel. I appreciate everybody being here tonight. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Thanks to all those subscribers out there. And don't forget to smash that bell. You get updates when races are going live here at TurnLeftTV. Again, thank you so much. I'm so honored that you come out and watch these races. And all those folks who also participate in the chat session as well. Love that stuff, man. Well, I think we're ready to rock and roll. I think we are ready to rock and roll. Sounds like we are. All right, boys and girls, it is Vegas tonight. Who's got what it takes, baby, to bring home the win at Vegas? Or who's going to cash out early? We'll figure it out, baby. Hey, let's take a look at the starting order here tonight. Craig Mares on to the 60, starts P1. Claudio Bardelli Jr. starts in the second position. Starting in third is Dana Grover in the 89. John Stanley in the 12 starts in P4. Steve Pierce in the 51 starts P5. Mark Vieira will start in the 6th position. Sean Jacobs in that 24 starts 7th. Givaldo Spindola starts in the 8th position. Starting in 9th is Jesus Iglesias in the 22 car. Dennis Udichin in the 10th position in the 47. Tony Furtado starts 9th in the, 11th in the 9 car. And Dan Richter starts in 12th. Gilmar Peixoto 13th. Alexei Salviev starts in 14th. Gordon Carter 15th. And Ritsky Novar starts in the 16th position. Man, we got to be patient here tonight. Things can get a little hairy here if you get a little aggressive. Again, this is race number 9, and we know some guys are going to be trying to make their move here tonight to set themselves up for a championship run next week in the final race of the season at Phoenix. Pace cars in. Here we go. Here at Vegas.
Green flag, go, go, go.
All right, green, green, green.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
Arizon out to the lead there as Bardelli tucks in. 2 wide there in P4 on back. Guys starting to jockey around here a little bit. Looking for some space. Bardelli Jr. starting to push it here on the 60 car. Bardelli Jr. running in P2. Looking out of the back of Marizon's machine, you see Bardelli there in P2. He is our points leader. He's wanting to get another championship under his belt. Take a look at Sean Jacobs here running in the 6th position, in the 7th position on the inside. He and John Stanley side by side. Stanley on the high side through the tri-oval. Sean Jacobs got a little bit of help from Jesus Iglesias in that 22 car. Stanley going up to the high side. Yeah, going back to protect on that inside line. Iglesias starting to look on the inside. Jesus Iglesias looking on the inside. Take a look out of the back of Jacobs' car at Jesus. Jesus running now in 6th. Jacobs is in P5. A lot of action now. We'll take a look at that Claudio Bardelli Jr. and John Stanley. This is Givaldo Spindola and John Stanley. I'll take that back. Givaldo. Oh, contact there with Tony Furtado. Contact there. Givaldo holds on, but man, did he get into Tony Furtado on board here with the Claudio. He got into that 9 car and got that car sideways. Cattywampus there for him a little bit. Wow. He almost bit that dust on that one. Let's take a look at that. look at that replay there. As Bardelli Jr., Givaldo to the inside. This is a little bit later there, it looks like. Not off to a good start, are we? Oh, boy. You have to take my word for it. We'll get her figured out. Where's the replay people at? You guys got to get on the ball. Gilmar Peixoto and Ritzky Novar side by side through the tri-oval area. Novar on the high side, Gilmar in the 71 on that bottom side. Dennis Hutchinson following those guys. He's trying to figure out who to go with. And Novar still working that outside line. And they're getting there side by side here. And Peixoto, he has had some better showings. And maybe that new paint scheme. And it looks like Novar's going to pull off that pass on the high side. Alexei Salviev in the 72 and on the outside line, Tony Furtado side by side there as the 9 and the 72 battling it out through the tri-oval area. Jake Marizon still leading up, but hey, Artide Salviev pinching him down a little bit. Salviev in that 72, that Toyota now pulling off that pass. Salviev now in 7th. Gordon Carter. Oh, John Stanley there. Oh, little wiggly there for John Stanley. Little wiggly there for John Stanley. And Gordon Carter gets by Stanley there. Wow, man, he was working that. Did you see that? Wow, Stanley got wicked loose. Horrible camera angles here at this track. Ritzky Novar. Ritzky Novar down to the inside line as Givaldo smacking the wall. And Ritzky Novar down on the inside. Dan Ricker trying to ease through here too. 10 laps in, these guys starting to get a little racy here. Don Stanley and Jesus Iglesias. Iglesias had some trouble there, I think, and he's off the track. Iglesias off the track here. Let's take a look and see what happened to Jesus. Jesus Iglesias here in the 22. Oh, there's contact there with Steve Pierce. Oh, Iglesias straight into the inside wall. My God, that hurt. That hurt. And there was contact there with he and Steve Pierce. Steve Pierce in the 51 car. You see this coming off the turn. Steve Pierce gets down into Iglesias. And Iglesias into the wall. Wow, man, that was a hard lick there. Dan Richter in his 65 car working this outside line. Richter in 8th right now working on Alexei Salviev. One behind Ritzky Novar is Dan Richter. Salviev through the tri-oval on the inside line. Richter pulls off that pass. Salviev going to have to tuck in. Salviev now back in P9. Richter in the 8th position. Go back up here with our race leader, Craig Marizon. The 19, Claudio Bardelli Jr. And look who it is, Dana Grover. Dana Grover is in 3rd. We got a 3-car breakaway. Got some fans out watching him tonight. These guys are going to stay nose to tail. I think that's what their modus operandus is here. Let's just stay nose to tail, and we're going to get away from these guys. And it'll be a lot better for them. So Dana Grover here running in the 3rd position. Tony Furtado and Arthur Vieta here starting to get after it. Vieta up on the high line. Tony Furtado down on that bottom line. And he's going to get by. Tony Furtado picking up that spot. Looking out of the back of his car at Martin Vieira. Furtado, a couple Camaros there working together. Ritsky Novar and Dan Richter here as see the 22 gets back by Ritsky Novar. So Salviev back by. Salviev is running into set position. Novar is in 8th. Dan Richter 9th. Take a look at Dennis Utichin. Utichin running in the 10th position. Good top 10 run here for the 47 car. 2X just behind him. That is Gordon Carter. John Stanley shown in the 12th position. I'll tell you what, this battle here between Richter and Vieira and Salvia starting to heat up. These guys are in each other's zip code right now, aren't they? And Novar leading that charge there. We've got a couple Camaros and a Toyota Camry. The Camry in the 10. Novar, that Raven Puff sponsor machine. He said something about that was about his girlfriend or something. I don't know. Maybe that's his cutie name for her. He's done a lot of work for us, man. We definitely love old Ritsky Novar. Done a lot of work for us, helping us with car sets and so forth and advice. And does a great job. One of the engineer from Indonesia. Take a look at John Stanley here. John Stanley running in that 12 car in the 12th position. Steve Pierce, he's coming back out on track here. Let's see what's happened to Steve Pierce. He's coming back down pit lane in this 51 car. So he had some issues there. Got down into the inside, smacked the, he and Jesus got together. And the 51 now coming down pit lane here to take some service. Maybe an unscheduled pit stop for the 51 car. Steve Pierce. John Stanley now trying to get around Arte Vieira. See 3 cars that are working on the outside line. Stanley's going to need a little help there. Vieira's going to give him some room, I think. It looks like Vieira does give him some room. And Steve Pierce on pit lane for a pretty extended pit stop here. Looks like he might have finished up his pit stop coming back out on track. Take a look at Steve Pierce now coming back out, and he is now in the 15th position. 1 lap down. He's in the lucky dog spot, but Jesus has got some big-time damage he's dealt with. It looks like we've got another car coming down pit lane, and that is Jomar Peixoto, and he's on pit lane. Take a Jomar in his pit stall. As Bardelli Jr. is our leader. We might start seeing some pit stops here. Pierce and Peixoto on pit lane, but I'll tell you what, Bardelli Jr. has got some company. Frank Marizan and Bardelli Jr. having a fist fight right now. And Bardelli Jr. has gotten around Marizan and now our new leader. You see Peixoto now coming back out on track. Steve Pierce just ahead of him. So now Peixoto is in the 14th position. So we're starting to hear some guys who are saying they're coming down pit lane. Salviev indicating he's going to be making a pit stop here. So Salviev, the 9 as well. Tony Furtado in the 9. Furtado all over the back of Salviev. Got to be really careful there. As you see Richter going to the high side, he said, hey, I'm not pitting yet, man. I'm going to go around on the high side. So Salviev and Furtado indicated they're going to be coming down pit lane. We're taking a look at Salviev here in the 10. Richter goes around, and let's take a look at this. This can be a little dicey here, getting on the pit lane. Oh, there's contact there. Raven Puff gets into the back of Furtado. Furtado was sideways. Whoa, boy. Furtado almost got taken out there. As Rinsky Novar put a little Raven puff all over the back of that 9. Wow, that got crazy right there. Wow. Let's take a look at that replay here. I think we got it. Rinsky Novar here. Let's take a look. I think we're going to take a look. Take a look here. That's a little bit after the fact. We'll get it. I promise you we'll get it. Right there into the back of the 9 car. We got to go back even further. My God, bro.
I got to give it up.
I wanted it. I couldn't get it. So Tony Furtado back out on the track, and he is shown into 11th position. So maybe not too bad there for Furtado in that sequence. And we'll take a look at this action here. Here we go, Rinsky Novar. Right here. Oh, into the back there. A little bit of a punch in the back. I knew we'd find it. And Furtado does a good job of hanging on to that thing. Woo! Man, Tony Furtado had to hang on to that, didn't he? Go on board here with him. Watch this. He's going to see a whole lot of Raven Puff. Watch this. Oh, and he's working that wheel right there. Working that wheel. It keeps him spinning around. Holy Toledo. That was messy. Back up here with Craig Marizon, our leader. Salviev now up to the 2nd position. Great pit stop there for Salviev. The 60 car, Craig Marizon is the leader, but Salviev is starting to put a little pressure on him. Sean Jacobs running into 3rd position. He and Tony Furtado having a good run here. P3, P4. These guys starting to get a little racy here. Salviev, it looks like he really wants to round this 60 car. Jacobs and Furtado, I think those guys are content to work together here right now. So we got a good two-way battle here on the track. Two-way battle on the track. Take a look at those two battles there as we're looking at P1, P2, and P3, P4. Those guys have broken away from the rest of the field. Take a look at after pit stops here. Dana Grover up to the 5th position. He's got Dan Richter right there with him in the 65 car. Another seasoned KG veteran there following Dana Grover. Grover in the 89 running in P5. And we've seen those finishes just get better and better and better. More consistent top 5 finishes for Dana Grover. Got a win earlier this season. So 70 laps to go. A lot of racing to go there. Dana Grover and Dan Richter. P5, P6. Running in the 7th position is Artur Vieta. He tried to close in on those guys. And you see that distance there between P6 and P7. 2.5 seconds. And that draft's going to hurt him a little bit. Richter and Grover working together, drafting is going to have pose a little bit of a challenge for Artur Vieta about closing in. Take a look at this. Dennis Udichin and John Stanley. Udichin now running in the 9th position. He's on the inside of John Stanley. Stanley going to fall back to P10. Guys spreading out here a little bit now. Got 3 cars off the pace there, down a lap. Steve Pierce in the lucky dog position. Bardelli Jr. has had a pretty bad pit stop here. He finds himself back in the 19th position. This is, in the 13th position in the 19 car, and this is pretty uncharacteristic for Bardelli Jr. And I would suggest to you maybe he got caught speeding. In the 19, Claudio Bardelli Jr. is in 13th. Gordon Carter in the 2X here tonight, running in the 11th position. 15 seconds back to the race leader. Gilmar Peixoto at a 71. He and Claudio Bardelli, he and the 51, Steve Pierce there, nose to tail. Although Peixoto is in the 12th position. Steve Pierce shown in 14th. Peixoto keeping his connection here, man. We'll keep our fingers crossed for Peixoto. Givaldo 2 laps down. He is running in the 15th position. I'm not sure what's happened to Givaldo that caused him to fall back there. So hopefully keeping that connection solid. So far, so good. Tony Furtado now closing in on Salviev. So Furtado and Jacobs have caught the 72 car working together here. And now get around, and maybe Salviev on a little bit of fuel save strategy here, tire save strategy. He's going to tuck in behind Furtado. Furtado trying to hold on to the back of Sean Jacobs, but Sean Jacobs closing in on Craig Marizon. Marizon in the 60 car, and Jacobs looks like he is a little bit faster right now. He's going to the outside line. This is a battle for the race lead. 24 side by side with the 60. Couple Camaros here battling it out. Sean Jacobs has a run down the backstretch. Marizon, is he going to tuck in? And he does. So Sean Jacobs now the new race leader of that 24 car. Craig Marizon falling back to P2. It's starting to get busy here. Look at this. It is starting to get busy. Dana Grover getting by Furtado. Dana Grover now in P3. Furtado trying to find a place to tuck in, and Dan Richter getting by. Tony Furtado has to back off there in the 9 car. Salviev just behind him. Dana Grover now in the 3rd position. That Toyota, the top Toyota in the field here tonight. Running in P3, Dan Richter in the Ford, the 65, just behind him in the Ford spot. Take a look at Salviev in the 6th position, the 72. And hearing that Jesus Iglesias is coming back down pit lane here. So Jesus, he had a tough night there, man. A little bit of contact that 51 car. And he has been fighting that car ever since. So the 22, Jesus Iglesias is going to peel off the track here to come down pit lane. Get that Orange Crush sponsor machine. Get some fresh tires and maybe some repairs done to that machine. Continued repairs. Jacobs now opening up about a 2nd lead over Craig Marizon. Marizon's going to fall in the clutches of Dana Grover and Dan Richter. Marizon pitted a little bit earlier. Looks like Udichin might be on pit lane, I believe, or he's indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane. I think he is. Shoto is on pit lane, so he's taking some service in the 71 car. Furtado now working with Salviev. Furtado running in the 6th position. Salviev is in P5. Dana Grover still on the move here. Dana Grover now on the bottom side here. Oh, there's almost some contact right there. Dan Richter in this mix too. Dana Grover gets by. Now takes over P2. Dan Richter trying to get by as well and follow him through. And looking out of the back of Grover's machine at Dan Richter in that battle with Craig Marazon. And Grover going to help Dan Richter out a little bit by going down to the bottom side. And both those guys get by Craig Marazon. So a little parity here right now as we've got a Toyota, a Ford, and a Chevy. That's P2, P3, and P4. Salviev now side by side here with Tony Furtado. He says, I got to get another Toyota up there. Tony Furtado in the 9, the Valvoline sponsor machine, now falling back to P6. And he's indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane. Oh, and he smacks the outside wall. That's what it was. A little bit of a replay there. He smacked that outside wall, and now he's going to be coming down pit lane here. Tony Furtado hit that outside wall. Let's take a look. This replay here. Coming off the turn, I think he's going to hit this wall. So here's that tri-oval action as Salviev gets by. And Furtado in the 9. You watch a little replay. He's going to get up in the wall. Both those tires are just flat out gone for him. And he makes contact right here. Hard contact with the outside wall. And now he's on pit lane taking some service. So, the 9 car on pit lane getting some repairs done to the right side of that car. Sean Jacobs, our race leader, indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane. So Jacobs going to make a pit stop. We take a look at our side-by-side for Furtado finishing up that pit stop now, coming back out on track. And I don't think a huge problem there for him getting that right side done. Oh, I tell you what, man, somebody snuck underneath. Somebody snuck underneath Sean Jacobs as he was coming down the pit. Now you got to be careful here. Do not want to speed. So Sean Jacobs on pit lane, giving up the race lead. The race lead now goes to Dana Grover. Dan Richter might have something to say about that. Here on lap 49, Furtado back out on the track. Dana Grover is our leader. Dana Grover and Dan Richter, nose to tail. Little Toyota versus Ford. Richter likes that high line. He is known for racing these high lines. And this is a track, really, I think, that favors his style of racing. Anytime you've got a track, like especially these mile and a halves, where you get up in that high line, you can flirt around with the outside wall. Dan Richter is usually at the front. Dana Grover indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane. So we are now halfway. 50 laps to go. Marazon, Bardelli Jr., Salviev, all on pit lane. And Dana Grover peeling off the track to come down pit lane here. No mistakes, no pressure here. Just get on and off pit lane cleanly. Tony Furtado here in a a hornet's nest right now. Oh, he gets into the back of the 2X car. He gets into the back of Gordon Carter. Little bit of contact there. Gordon Carter got sideways. Did you see that? Watch this, man. A little contact here through the tri-oval. Right there into the back of the 2X car. Give me a little bit of a shove. John Stanley, he was looking out of the back of his car. He was watching that action. John Stanley had a look at that. Watch this. Oh, man, that 2X sideways. And Tony Furtado said, hey, baby, get out of the way. This is time for me to G.O. Dennis Udichin on pit lane. You see Archibald, I haven't talked too much about Archibald tonight. He's running in the 8th position in that 4 car. Just behind Alexis Salvia. P7, P8. There's 72 and the 4. Our race leader is Dan Richter, and he's coming down pit lane. Look at that, John Stanley on pit lane. Dan Richter now finishing up his pit stop in the 65. That's going to give the race lead back to Sean Jacobs. Marizon in second, Grover third. Richter going to fall in the 4th position. Tony Furtado in P5. Gordon Carter in that 2X, working on a new paint scheme. Working on a new paint scheme. That's why he's in this Tipperary car, or in the new driver car. So excited to see what that's going to look like for him. John Stanley now going to blend back in the 12th position after his pit stop. It looks like we've cycled around pit stops now. Some guys off sequence a little bit, but nonetheless, we are back at it. And Sean Jacobs is our leader. Take a look at Alexis Salviat here running in the 6th position into 72. Gietta starting to peek around on that inside to see if he can't get away. I think their best bet right now is just to work nose to tail here. They are about 10 seconds off the race lead. Got a 5-second gap between them and Tony Furtado, who's running in the 5th position. So nose to tail for those guys, probably the best bet right now. We've been caution free here, 56 laps in. And Sean Jacobs is the race leader. We'll take a look at the battle here between Craig Marizon and Dana Grover. Marizon running in that 2nd position in the 60 car. Take a look at the interval there, the top 5. Watching Craig Marizon in the 2nd position. 1.7 seconds, about 1.6 seconds now off the race lead. They are closing in on Sean Jacobs. Dana Grover, Craig Marizon working together nose to tail. Another 1.5 seconds back to them is Dan Richter. He's running in P4. Tony Furtado running in the 5th position. John Stanley here fresh off pit lane in Hornet's Nest right now. Claudio Bardelli Jr. on the high side is John Stanley getting by. John Stanley now in P11. Bardelli Jr. in the 19 car, back to 12. Just ahead is Gordon Carter in the 2X. Dennis Udichin in the 47 leading this pack. And he is in P9. Dennis Udichin having a good night here, running in the 9th position. He wants to climb up a few positions in this 47 car. He's racing all the way from Kharkiv, Ukraine. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning there for him. He gets up each and every week and races with us, sometimes even on Tuesdays. So it'll be like 4 o'clock Wednesday morning for him, and he gets up and races with us. And, you know, we always have Dennis in mind. You know, we're definitely praying for him and all the residents there of Kharkiv. And, you know, I think about him each and every day. I get up, check the Discord server, and think about Dennis, and you wonder how he's doing. So we always check in with him, and he's a huge asset, huge friend, and to us here at High Octane Racing League. So here these guys are closing in on Jesus. Now Jesus a little bit off the pace in the 16th position. But a good battle here with some of these guys. And this is headed up by Dennis Udichin in 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. All there nose to tail as Udichin going to the bottom side, getting by Jesus Iglesias. Iglesias in his first race back. Had some, got a new computer. So he was off a little bit, little computer issues there. These guys starting to close in on Ritsky Novar. Now Novar running in the 8th spot. He's got a clan here closing in on him. Sean Jacobs is in a little bit of a hornet's nest right now as he is getting around Peixoto, and he wants to get around Steve Pierce, that Captain Morgan sponsor machine. And he does. You see Pierce tuck it in the 51 car.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Oh, we got a yellow flag. We have got a yellow flag. Wow. And that will bunch some boys back up. And I think Peixoto might be in the lucky dog position. Good news for him. So it looks like maybe Ritsky Novar off the pace. And we got a yellow flag. So Novar spun around, but he's going to be able to get back around the leader there. So, wow, first caution flag of the night. Hopefully the only caution flag of the night. As these guys come around to catch up to the pace car. Man, let's take a look and see what happened here. Guys starting to get woed up. Let's take a look and see what happened. Novar just gets loose right there and spins the car. And does he hit anything? He does not hit anything, but he does spin a couple times. Oh, there he goes. He made a liar out of me. Backed it into the inside wall. I don't know. Very interesting there. Bardelli Jr. had gotten by. We'll take a look here as Bardelli Jr. gets by. And Novar is up on the high side. Jesus gets by. And Novar tuck in right there. The car starts to get loose on him right there. And he just cannot catch it. And the car comes around. So self-spin for him. And it just looked like that car, for some reason. And I don't know if that was Jesus there in front of him or what, but right here, this is on board here with Jesus in the 22. And he's going to get by, and you see the 10 car, this Camry, and the car's just going to come around right there. The back end of that car is coming around on him. He's trying to catch the thing, and he ends up spinning. That was a weird spin right there. And then backs it into the wall. And Novar. That Toyota is all burgered up now, that's for sure. We go back to live here, and we're going to have some pit stops, I would suggest to you. And Sean Jacobs did not want to see that caution flag. He did not want to see that caution flag, that's for sure. Don't forget the High Octane Racing League Tough Trucks will be back in action on Tuesday for race number 3 of the season. We'll be at Phoenix for a 100-lap race. So that's the High Octane Racing League Tough Trucks. Now who's pitting and who's not? Imagine all these guys going to be coming down pit lane. The pit stop's underway. As we see, we'll take a look at Sean Jacobs and Dana Grover. That's P1, P3. Some of these guys going to take 2's tires. I couldn't imagine they're doing that. But you just never know. Sean Jacobs in the 24. And some of these guys might end up beating him off pit lane. We'll take a look. Jacobs finishing up his pit stop. Grover still on pit lane. There's a lot of guys that are going to get around. Looks like a couple guys got around him there. Dan Richter had a good pit stop, so he's gotten around. Grover going to end up, I guess not a lot of guys, 2 guys there. Got a little excited, I guess. Add some drama to that in this broadcast. Now coming out in P4, Sean Jacobs. Well, he's going to end up being in P3 as I think Jomar is going to come down pit road here. Shoto is shown as the race leader, and I would suggest to you the 71 car is going to make a pit stop. Can't imagine that Peixoto is going to stay out here in the 71. It's Cabo Frio Racing Team. And he is making a pit stop here on the pit lane. See Gibaldo Spindola also on pit lane. And I think that's going to give the race lead back to Sean Jacobs in the 24. Don't forget the Saturday Night Thunder will be back in action tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the Cup Series. The Saturday Night Thunder Cup cars at Vegas for a 100-lap race. Hopefully everybody here tonight who's racing in that tomorrow will have their hangovers cured and from partying here in Vegas and be ready to go tomorrow. This is Beat the Broadcaster night. I get out of the broadcast booth, get in the driver's seat, and mix it up with these boys. So, open setups here, the Saturday Night Thunder, and it's the Cup Series. A lot of fun, man. We have some great racing on Saturday nights. That's coming up tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's take a look at the schedule here in the Buschwackers Series. Next week, we finish up the regular season here in season number 1 on March the 8th at Phoenix. We'll crown the champion, 120-lap race from Phoenix, and that's coming up on March the 8th. That's next Friday, and it'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. It's like Jesus coming down pit lane. Thanks for joining me here on the YouTube channel. Appreciate you being here tonight. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Get that algorithm talking so people can see this video. Then also hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Always looking for some more subscribers. And don't forget to smash the bell. You get updates when races are going live. I got some links down in the description of this race, too. Please help me out there if you want to make a donation. There's a PayPal link there. Also, I got the Extra Life Children's Miracle Network Hospitals link, as well as the Sim Lab link as well. So appreciate your support here at TurnLeftTV. Watching the races and clicking on those links helps me out here at TurnLeftTV. And don't forget, hit that thumbs up button. Sean Jacobs has elected to go to the inside line here on this restart. And that puts Dan Richter, high line Dan Richter, up on the outside. Dana Grover will start on the inside in row 2. And Archer Vieira, he has been quiet tonight, but look. The 4-car up front. And that's where we used to see the 4 cars. So keep your eye on him. He's been sort of mired back in a little bit, but now he's got that car up front. Salviev and Utichin side by side here in row 3. A little bit of a rivalry between the two of those guys. John Stanley, Gordon Carter, row number 4. Bardelli Jr. and Marizon are in row number 5. Here we go. Pace car's in. Cross the line. We'll start lap 70.
Green flag, go, go,
And
go.
back to green. I think the intensity is going to pick up here. Guys, we're really, really patient on that big, long run, especially on the start of the race. And now the intensity is going to pick up. Richter working the high line. Jacobs down on the bottom line here, coming off turn 2. And we got a caution flag. We have got a caution flag. Gordon Carter's around. It looks like he's lost his hood. I had a feeling. What do they say? What is it? It's almost cliche, isn't it? Cautions breed cautions. And looks like the 2X car is off the pace there a little bit. The cautions breed cautions. And looks like Gordon Carter going to come down pit lane, take some service here. Let's take a look and see what happened. So let's see what happened here. Oh, it looks like Bardelli Jr. might have gotten into the back of the 2X car. There might have been contact. Take a look here. And you see too many tags. Bardelli Jr. kind of in the middle right there. You see the 60 Marizon on the outside. Bardelli Jr. comes down and gets in to the 2X. And it looked like Marizon got caught up in that. Wow. Oh, that was a mess. Marizon, he got caught in that, I believe. He was in the mix, and it was just stunt right there and turned the 2X around and the 2X into the wall. Marizon had nowhere to go. Let's take a look at a Ricky Novar's machine. It's going to happen a little bit in front of him. Right there, Bardelli Jr. coming over and getting into that 2X car. And then, wow, man. More contact. Right here, we take a look at the 19 and the 2X. The 2X on the bottom line. Watch that white line right there. Coming up, maybe comes up a little bit. And then the contact just coming off the turn, and it looks like those guys get together, and the 2X takes a huge hit. Look here at Gordon Carter. He climbs up the track a little bit and gets climbs up the track. Take a look out of the back. Climbs up the back, or up the track here a little bit. Shoto's standpoint would be a good look as well. And then right there, contact with the 19. And then all heck breaks loose. We'll go back to live here. As we're going to watch Sean Jacobs, our leader. Big time damage there, it looks like, for Gordon Carter. Gordon Carter on pit lane with an extended pit stop. So a quick caution here. One caution. Let's keep our fingers crossed that that's the only caution here tonight. We are now under 30 laps to go. Jelson Neto in here, man. How about that? I like the play-by-play by these guys, too, by the way. So, Jack Trawick. Hopefully I pronounced that name correctly. Trawick in here giving us a play-by-play. Good to see him. Blizzard Designs. Fireball Flash is the king. Top G. Nobody even comes close. Watch out. Everybody else is Garbo. Wow. That's going out on a limb there a little bit. Well, we got Jacob Salviev up to P2. Peixoto is shown in third. So it does look like some guys have come down pit lane, given up some track position, come down pit lane. Interesting. We're watching the replay there. I'm going to take a look at the trucks, the Tough Trucks schedule, by the way. If you guys are interested in joining that series. Of course, we'll be at Phoenix next week for race number 3. And look at the rest of the races we got. Bristol, Milwaukee Mile, Richmond, Martinsville, Texas, Talladega, and Pocono. How about 2 super speedways to finish out the series season? And then, of course, just after Pocono, we'll throw out the schedule there for season number 2. But a lot of fun, man. Get some more guys out there. I'll start broadcasting those races. I've actually been driving in this series. And we've got some guys from Happy Hour Racing League, NASCAR BR guys racing with us as well on Tuesdays. Happy Hour Racing guys, they're racing on Monday and Thursdays, I believe. So it looks like Sean Jacobs has elected to take the inside line. Now, Jacobs, Salviev side-by-side, Ritsky Novar, Jomar Peixoto side-by-side. And I'll tell you what, Peixoto hasn't been up front here tonight, but now he's shown in the third position. So here we go. Back to green, this time by. Start lap 76.
Green flag, go, go, go.
Quickie cautions here. And back at it. As Jacobs jumps ahead of Salviev. Salviev tucks in front of Peixoto. Peixoto with a 71, backs off. He was going to try it. And it looks like the 10 car going to get by. Salviev now is in P2. Oh, he got some beating around here. Hang on, boys. Hang on. They got together there. Utichin and Tony Furtado swapping a little paint. Wow, bouncing around. Let's see if we can see that on that restart. Watch this. Tony Furtado in the nines. These guys starting to shake it out a little bit. Holy smokes. Utica should have him in that 47 down on the bottom line here. And you see there's some contact there. Grover gets into the outside wall, and he comes across. I think Tony was going to follow him, and he gets into Utica. Right there, he got into Dennis Utica. And Utica's going to have a little bit of right side damage now. Dan Richter here now on the offense. Turning some offense now. 71 trying to play a little defense. As Dan Richter getting by. Furtado now on the outside line, smacking the right side of that car. He said, hey, man, right side, left side, I want damage all over. And he gets up there now in the 5th position. Gets by Jomar Peixoto. Peixoto, maybe on a little bit older tires, finds himself in the 6th position. 89, Dana Grover just behind in P7. Marizon trying to weave his way back through. Holy smokes. We'll take a look at this. Dan Richter and Tony Furtado now mixing it up. Sean Jacobs likes what he sees out of the back of his car, but, man, he's got some company with Alexei Salviev. This battle here as Richter gets by. Peixoto now working that outside. Peixoto working that outside line. Tony Furtado trying to squeeze in there in front of the 89 car. Holy smokes, man, this is getting intense. This is getting intense. Dana Grover running in the 7th spot. Looking out the front of his machine. You see now Furtado tucking in P6. Always the tail there in that front crew. But I'll tell you what, they're side by side now. Craig Marizon and the 89 of Dana Grover. Marizon goes by. I think you want to be on the high side here. It looks like the high side is a little bit better right now. Artevieta now on the high side. It is getting intense. Holy smokes. We got a mess of cars right now. John Stanley on the high side. I think Grover's got some damage. I think there's damage to that 89 car. Look at this mess right here. 3 wide coming off the turn. Looking out of the back of, sort of looking out of the back of Dan Richter's car. Hey, Dan, how you doing? There we go. Need to get rid of about half of those cameras, man. Shouldn't have to cycle through all those cameras. Come on, rFactor 2, Studio 397, whatever you are now, Motorsports Games. On board here with Dan Richter running in P3. He is now closing in on Alexei Salviev. Dan Richter likes that high side. This is where he feels comfortable, and he is up there where he wants to be.
Yellow.
Oh, we got a yellow flag. Oh, boy. Rinsky Novar off the pace. Dana Grover caught up in that. And I had a feeling, man, as intense as that stuff was getting, I had a feeling things were going to get messy. Oh, and I'll tell you what, more hard contact for Dana Grover. It looked like maybe the 22 car got into him on the way through. Dana Grover, big-time damage there for him. Holy smokes, man. Let's take a look and see what happened here. Take a look and see what happened. Novar on the bottom side goes up to the high side. And it looked like there was contact with he and the 12. And then all heck breaks loose from that. Grover got caught up in that. Take a look here. On board Dana Grover. And then contact right there with the 10. And then, wow, man. More contact there. And Dana Grover is absolutely going to get annihilated right here. As you're going to see the 22 car come around. So Dana Grover trying to go down. 22's trying to avoid him and slams into Dana Grover. Wow. Right here, I think we got the wrong car on that one, so the Raven Puff machine. Man, that was a mess. That was an absolute mess right there. On board here with Udichin, you see that hood flying. And then, oh, he had nowhere to go. He had absolutely nowhere to go. Iglesias, DNF, Dana Grover out of the race, and that is just a mess right there. looked like right here is the 10 car comes over, and then there's contact there. Not a lot of room for the 10. Man, that was an absolute mess. Took a lot of cars out on that one. A lot of cars, and we got 2 cars out of the race now. And there might be some guys coming down pit lane to get some service done to that machine. There's some busy crew members there. Looks like 3 cars out of the race. Ritsky Novar out of the race as well. All right. Well, we turned the aggression up there a little bit. Good to see Jesus back out with us, man. He was down a computer there, got a new computer, and we had been waiting on him. I don't know if he built it or if he bought it or whatever, but good to see Jesus back out. Jesus, one of our longtime supporters, good buddy of ours here at High Octane Racing League. We'd love to see him back out on the track. Had a tough night here tonight, but that happens, man. So Gordon Carter, Steve Pierce on pit lane right now taking some service. 3 cars out of the race. Novar, Grover, and Iglesias all out of the race. It just felt like on that last restart that the intensity level had gone up a few notches. And, man, those guys started jockeying around for some positions. And one thing led to another. When you bunch all those cars up, we were watching that pack there, and I had a bad feeling about it. And I think when you start jockeying around for positions, you get those cars bunched up, cold tires, bad stuff happens. But, on the other hand, it's go time, man. I mean, you're looking at, you were looking at about 20 to go, and it's go time. It's time to try to get those positions, all take and no give. Sean Jacobs is the leader. Dan Richter is in second. Sean Jacobs, one of our Pennsylvania drivers. Dan Richter racing all the way from Indiana. Mardelli Jr., one of our Brazilian drivers. Alexis Salvia racing from Russia. And Art Vieta also racing from Brazil. That's your top 5. And it looks like Sean Jacobs going to take that inside line. Let's see if we can't get a quick word with Sean Jacobs. Sean Jacobs, this is Heath Johnson up at the broadcast booth. I know you getting ready to go green here. What's the thought process with Dan Richter on that outside line?
Well, I figured I'd have to stay out, and he's got new right side tires, which I don't, but I figured he'd be back further in the pack, and then I can maybe hopefully, get enough of a lead to hold him off, but it's going to be tough now.
Man, if you were a betting guy, would you say this thing's going to stay green or go caution?
I'm hoping it stays green.
All right, well, good luck to you, man.
Thank you.
So Sean Jacobs joining us up here in the booth for a little quick chat. And we'll see what that 24 car has in store. So when we cross start-finish line, we'll start lap 89. Man, we had caution free up until past halfway, right? And we had a caution flag and had a few good laps there. And then now we have had 2 quickie cautions. And the pace car is off. Here we go. Back to green. It is all take and no give right now, boys. And hopefully these guys hold their lines.
Green flag, green flag.
Race hard,
go,
but
go,
hold
go.
your line. Bardelli Jr. in third, giving that 24 car a little bit of a shove. The 4 car also in this mix. Dan Ricker on those fresher tires. Can he make it work? Sean Jacobs in the 24 on the inside line. Bardelli Jr. giving him a little bit of a push. Jacobs goes to the outside. Leaving the door open for Bardelli Jr. Oh, there's contact. Contact. Oh, wow. Marizon holds on. Marizon held on there. Kept that car from coming around. Wow. Did you see that? Bardelli Jr. now takes the race lead. 3 wide there as the 9 and the 4 in this mix. And the 9 pull off a victory here. The 4 car tucks in behind the 19. Sean Jacobs up the track here. He's got older tires on that right side. Can he hold that car down? Oh, the 4 car into the back of the 19. The 4 car pushing that 19 car a little bit. Salviev on the inside. Salviev and Ricker battling it out. The 24 now falling back. John Stanley in this mix. Salviev trying to make his move. Dan Ricker on the outside line. Bardelli Jr., Archer Vieta, Tony Furtado. And Dan Ricker up to P4. Wow. Nose to tail now. 92 laps in. John Stanley here working on the back of the 24 car. John Stanley going to the high side of the 24. John Stanley in that Ford Stanley Tool Sponsor machine battling the 24 and gets by. They starting to get serious behind. Man, where is the back of the car, bro? There we go. Craig Maris. Oh my God. I don't need all those camera angles, man. Craig Marizon battling Sean Jacobs now. Sean Jacobs on those older tires on the right side, and that's hurting him a little bit. Now you got to wonder what these guys have, man. Does Bardelli Jr. have 2 fresh tires? Does Archer Vieta have 2 fresh or 4 fresh tires? Furtado in this would be a big win for him. Dan Ricker in the 65. Couple Americans, couple Brazilians. P1, P2, Brazil. P3, P4, United States. Spindle off the track here. Not sure what's happened to him. He had a little trouble. Looks like he's coming down pit lane. Givaldo coming down pit lane. Interesting there move for him. He must have some trouble. Late in the race for Givaldo. 5 laps to go, and he is on pit lane. Wow. Furtado down to the inside. He can't leave the door open for Ricker on the outside. Ricker will take that spot. Claudio looked like he might have been a little bit loose coming off the turn there. Vieta starting to sniff around. And I'll tell you what, Claudio's car starting to come around on the inside on the turns. His car is starting to get a little wiggly. 19. Driving the wheels off this thing right now. Richter going to the outside. Richter's got to make his move. Oh, scrunched into the outside wall right there. He had to back off. He might have made contact with the outside. He was trying to make his move on Furtado. Squeezed a little bit. John Stanley getting around Salvia. John Stanley now making his move. He's in P5. Do they have enough time to close in? Looking for a top 5 run here. Good run here for Stanley. Salvia trying to take that spot back. This is for the 5th position. Salvia gets into John Stanley. Look at that. Vieta, if he gets side by side here, that's... Oh, look at that. Dan Richter going to the high side. Dan Richter going to the high side now. Now he's dropping down to the bottom side. Holy smokes, this is getting crazy. 2 laps to go. Dan Richter now to the inside of Archer Vieta. Dan Richter to the inside of Archer Vieta. Vieta has a run off the turn. Richter tucks in. He wants that high line. Dan Richter wants that high line. Vieta's up in the high line now. Trying to make his move. Across the start-finish line, we'll have 1 to go. Nose to tail. You can throw a blanket over the 3 of these guys. Furtado falling back just a little bit. Claudio Bardelli Jr. Does he have what it takes to hold off the run by Archer Vieta? Dan Richter going to the outside. Dan Richter making his move on the outside line. He's side by side with Archer Vieta. He has a run. He maybe has a little bit of help there with Furtado. No, can't do it. Oh, into the back of Bardelli Jr. Vieta gets him loose. Oh, no. Dan Richter going to sneak through. 3 wide coming off the turn. Dan Richter is going to win this race. My heavens. Are you kidding me? Dan Richter won that race. My heavens, man. Incredible finish. Wow. We have got to take a look at that. Oh, I can't go back to it. It's not letting me go back to it. Son of a biscuit eater. Oh, God. Wow. That was crazy. Dan Richter in the 65 car. Getting the win. Boom, boo, rum for everybody, baby. What a win. That was cray. That is just amazing. A great job to Dan Richter on getting the win. And that was crazy, man. Not letting me go back to the finish of that. Wow, I'll definitely have to record that. That was absolutely amazing. What a win. What a finish. How about that? Woo! That is one of the greatest finishes I've seen in a long, long time. Dan Richter getting the win here at Vegas, and one of the that was one for the books, baby. Gotta be excited about that. That was crazy. Let's take a look at the final results. I can't even believe that, man. Let's take a look at the results here. Dan Richter gets the win. Claudio Bardelli Jr. finished P2. Archer Vieta finishes in the 3rd position. Tony Furtado finishes in 4th. John Stanley finishes in P5. Alexis Salvia at 6th. Craig Marizon finishes in the 7th position. Sean Jacobs 8th. Dennis Udichin finishes in the 9th position. Giomar Peixoto, good top 10 run there for the 71. Finishes in 10th position. Finishing in the 11th spot is Gordon Carter in the 2X machine. Steve Pierce finishes in 12th. Givaldo Spinola finishes in 13th. Ritzky Novak finishes in 14th. Dana Grover 15th. And Jesus Iglesias finishes in the 16th position. 3 cars out of the race there. And one incident really caught up a lot of guys there. What a great race there at the end. So, great job to Dan Richter. A little bit low on that isn't it? Let's see if we can't a little bit better situation there. That was a great run. Let's see if we can't get Dan Richter up here in the booth with us. Wow, Dan Richter with the win. What an exciting finish for you, that 65 car. Tell us what you were thinking as you moseyed up there with the 2 Brazilians, knowing they were probably going to be working together a little bit.
Yeah, that was a hell of a finish. I think they were working together, so that's awesome I could pull it off. That was had to do some slicing and dicing to get by him.
Well, your dog liked it, that's for sure. But you were working on high
she's
line.
excited.
Working at high line a little bit, and it looked like Vieira might have slammed the door on you with about 2 laps to go. But I think maybe he decided he was going to try to get racy with Claudio, helped you out a little bit, and opened up the sea parted for you.
Yeah, I had a little trouble getting around Tony too, but I was up against the wall, scraping it, almost trying to knock it down, and I thought I was gonna have to do that the very, last turn of the last lap. But Claudio moved up, and I just cranked it left, and down the hill I went.
What's your thought process as you're, working about halfway through the race, and you find yourself sort of mired back in traffic? Is it, just kind of keep your cool and, plan that there might be some more cautions, maybe the pit stops kind of shake out, get you back up front? What was the thought process there?
Well, the whole first part of the race before we had the caution starting, I was just trying to save fuel. Because if you went full out, you could go like 23 laps. And then, to be able to make it a 3-stop race, you had to do at least 25. So I was sitting behind Dana for a lot, just drafting with him and saving fuel. The way the racing was going, I figured it was going to come down to whoever had the better pit stop at the end. But the string of cautions changed it into just a flat out speed run down.
And you took 4 tires on that last stop, or just 2?
No, the very last one I just 2. The left sides were still 99 for me.
Well, next week, I know you're a little hit or miss on participation. Next week's at Phoenix there. What's your thought process there on that track? Very unique beast in itself.
Yeah, I think I'm going to miss it, but I'm not the biggest fan of that track, but I usually do pretty well, because you can't push it too hard into the turns, or else you'll burn off that right front, and then the car won't turn. So you have to take it easy.
Well, a big year for the Boilers this year, huh? With what a great men's basketball team. I think they got a run to a chance to win the NCAA tournament.
I sure as heck hope so. It's been nothing but pain in March for the past few years. It can't keep happening.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, great job tonight, and boom boo rum for everybody here tonight. So good to see you in Victory Lane, and thanks for participating here at High Octane Racing League. And enjoy your week off next week, or your weekend off.
Well, I won't be here because I have to work. So
yeah,
exactly.
From
week
racing,
off.
I meant. Yeah. I don't give a damn about the work part.
Yeah.
All right, man. Hey, congratulations, man.
Yeah, thanks, Heath. Have a good night.
You too. All right, it's Dan Richter joining us up here in the booth, and doesn't live too far away from me. He's up in the northern part of Indiana, but he's an Indiana guy, so congratulations to him. you know, you grow up in Indiana, you end up being a race fan. For obvious reasons, you got Indy 500, and, you know, the most famous track in all of motorsports here in Indiana. We just grow up with it, and what a hell of a run there for Dan Richter and getting that win. That was absolutely amazing run there. Thanks to everybody for joining us here tonight, man. I really appreciate it. That's awesome. We got some great racing coming up next week, and also this weekend too. Phoenix Raceway coming up on Tuesday in the High Octane Racing League Tough Trucks, man. This series has been absolutely great, man. We've had some really, really great finishes, a lot of strategy going on there, very clean races, and man, I'll tell you what, tire strategy, fuel strategy, who you're working with, who you're not working with, when you decide to pit. There's a lot of strategy going on in this Tough Truck Series. It's the Craftsman Truck Series. We call it the Tough Truck Series in High Octane Racing League. Very storied series in the trucks with HORL. So back in action, race number 3 of the season will be at Phoenix for a 100-lap race on Tuesday. Saturday Night Thunder will be in action tomorrow night. Maybe we can have another one just like tonight, huh? In the Cup Series, the Saturday Night Thunder Cup Cars, race number 9 of the season at Las Vegas, coming up tomorrow night, a 100-lap race at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight's race has been brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you are interested in an rFactor 2 server, there are 3 self-managed server packages for you to choose from. Rock solid connection tonight, man. With guys from all over the world racing with us, baby. And connections were great here tonight. So thanks to everybody for participating. And don't forget, you can get a rFactor 2 server for your race league. 3 self-managed server packages for you to choose from. And that's who provides our service here at HighOctaneRacing.net. Don't forget to join us over there. The quick link to our Discord server. You want to do some racing like you saw tonight? There's only one way to do that, and that's click on that link and head on over to our Discord server and let us know that you want to join us. And we'll get you set up. No problem. It doesn't cost anything. It's all free, man. We don't charge anybody any fees here at High Octane Racing League. We don't ask for donations, man. Just come on out and race with us. We love that stuff. Thanks so much for joining me here on the YouTube channel. All the people coming in and chatting here tonight, too. Fireball Flash joining us here after the race. Don't forget about Jack here as well. Blizzard Designs joining us. Jesus. Gilmar joining us after the race. Jelson Neto as well. He's racing with us on Tuesday nights periodically. He races with us on Friday nights most of the time as well. We'll hopefully see him next week. Thanks so much for joining me here on the YouTube channel. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and hit the subscribe button and get these races out there for everybody to see. And don't forget to hit that, smash that bell as well. And again, appreciate you being here tonight for supporting High Octane Racing League. That's going to do it for me tonight. And congratulations to Dan Richter on getting the win here at Vegas. The party girls are going to be celebrating with him tonight, that's for sure. Again, thanks for joining us here. That's going to do it for me. I am out of here.